What's going on YouTube? Mike back here with another Battle City deck profile, and if you guys hear more echo in this video, you are not hearing things. I'm in my room this time. It is way too hot outside for me to be dying in my car. But anyway, we'll be doing Ishizu's deck today, and I've actually tried to record this video twice now. First time I forgot to explain some stuff that I wanted to, and the second time the microphone was turned off, so kind of unfortunate. First time was on me, second time was a little more unlucky on my part. But without any further ado, let's get into this Ishizu deck. And Ishizu runs all fairies as her monsters, and I wanted to find a good boss monster, because she doesn't really have one. All of her monsters are 4-star, kind of low attack point monsters. So I thought that the Goddess of Light was a good sort of boss monster for her. 5-star, 2400 attack, nothing too crazy, but its effect is pretty good. When you draw a fairy type monster, you can reveal it and then draw one more card. So 2 is fine, you don't need more than 2. And then Airknight Parchath, I used to really like this card back in the day. It used to scare people a lot just because when it attacks over a monster and inflicts battle damage, no matter the mode, and then you can just draw one card. So you have double draw power right here with your sort of boss monsters. Airknight Parchath, it's a fun card. Just need 1 though. That's about it. And then all of these other monsters are ones she actually used against Kaiba when she dueled. And first one being Zolga, 1700, her highest attack point, 4-star monster. And when this card is tribute summoned, or when it's tributed for tribute summon, you can gain 2,000 life points. So tribute this card, summon one of these guys out, gain 2,000 life points, so which is pretty good. And then Kelback, it's sort of like a Neospatian Grand Mole, except this card does not return to the hand, it gets destroyed. So say a Blue Eyes attacks into it, if it's in defense mode, it goes to the graveyard and Blue Eyes returns to the hand, but if it's in attack mode, you take the 1500 damage, but Blue Eyes still goes back to the hand. So it's good to get out, tribute summon monsters on your opponent's side of the field. That's a good card. And then 3 Mudora. This is my favorite monster she used. It just looks cool. It's cool artwork. And it gains 200 attack for each fairy in your graveyard, so it can get pretty bulky. And then Ajido. Her last 2 monsters, not great effects. Ajido, it could be good, but not in this particular deck. You can roll a dice and special summon 1 fairy type monster from your graveyard whose level is equal to the number rolled. And since you only have 4 and 5-star monsters in this deck, you can't really get that effect off too often unless you get pretty lucky. And then our last monster being Keldo. And then when this card is destroyed by battle, you can select 2 cards in your opponent's graveyard and send them back to the deck. And I don't particularly like this effect because it can end up hurting you more than your opponent. But I almost always return monster cards back to the deck, so they can't use something like a Monster Reborn. But that's pretty much it. And 1200, it's not a great card, but she used it. We play 3, and then onto her spells. Drag Down into the Grave. I don't exactly know if she used this card. Can't remember, but each player discards 1 card, then draws 1 card, and it's good in like an Archfiend deck, but I guess it's all right in this deck, and it's more draw power. And then Spell Reproduction. Send 3 spell cards from your hand. Add 1 to your send 2 spell cards from your hand to the graveyard. You add 1 spell card from your graveyard back to your hand. She only plays 12 spell cards, so we only really play 1. If it was discard 2 cards and not 2 spell cards, we might bump this up to 2, but I wouldn't recommend playing more than 1. And then Pot of Greed, more drawing. Swords Revealing Light, she played this card. It's good for stalling, you guys know what this card's about. Same with Monster Reborn. I don't have to explain that. And then her final spell card she actually played, Justice of Dalga. She equipped it onto Medora, and it kind of helps Mudora get pretty big because you get that 500 attack point boost, and then he gains 200 for each fairy type monster in the graveyard. So late game, he can get up pretty high in attack points. So it's a good card. And plus, if you inflict battle damage when this card is equipped, then you gain life points equal to that amount inflicted. So more stuff like Zolga. And then her main card or strategy of her deck was Exchange of the Spirit. because when she dueled Kaiba, she predicted that he would try to like destroy her deck from the inside with Crush Card and Virus Cannon and stuff like that. And it only works if players have 15 or more cards in their graveyards. But in the anime, Kaiba only had 6, so the effect was a lot more broken. Um, it's not a great card, to be honest. If you build a deck specifically around it, it could be pretty good. But in this deck, only play one. I can't stress that enough. Do not play more than one of this card. It's just a dead draw almost every time. So she used it, and I want to include it. And then her trapped Michizuri, she used this card. When a monster is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can select and destroy one monster on the field. And then Mirror Force, I've explained this card enough. Null and Void, in the anime this card was called Muko, and it was basically treated as like a drop-off where when the opponent draws a card, you discard that immediately. This is a little bit different. You can only activate this card when the effect of drawing cards, so not when your opponent draws for their normal draw phase. But if someone was to activate like Pot of Greed, you can discard both of those cards, which is pretty good. And then her last trap, Blast Held by Tribute. It was the way that she was hoping to destroy Obelisk the Tormentor before Kaiba had a vision that he was supposed to use his blue eyes. But you activate this when your opponent declares an attack with a tribute summon monster, destroy all attack position monsters they control, so kind of like Mirror Force, and then inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. So it's a combination of Mirror Force and a couple of other things, but the situations aren't as flexible as something like Mirror Force. Anyway, that was my Ishizu deck. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace out.